Hello and good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's around 11 a.m. East African time. It's already 11 a.m. East African time, so I think we are at the dot of the hour. So we're going to be checking on what is really happening to the market, what we expect this week, and the most amazing thing is that gold actually wake up this morning to hit 51.11. So we've been getting that position as rising. Now this is really amazing. There's something that we checked on yesterday, and we realized that we are really at the top of extreme levels, especially for the gold. But remember, also the London session matters a lot, especially to this session that we are really in right now. So this is what has really been happening, and this is really crazy because once it's crazy here. Number one, you have seen how the silver is really doing. The silver is actually designed to hit or even more high. Yeah. So the silver is actually even ending more high. But what do you see from this? So let's see where might be actually be going to be ending more, maybe in the next maybe we stay and but one thing that you realize, even before we move there, I'm going to tell you what you will even be expecting, like maybe at the end of the month, or maybe this is the last month, this is the last week of the month, and it's actually going to be so much interesting. Now you can see on the option science, when it comes now to the prices, it's actually reducing from ATM around this area now 51.25, but remember also we already hit 51.11, so we are almost around this zone here. But the most important thing is that you can see the implied volume is really increasing, and this is just everything because it tells us that where people expect these prices to go. And what these people are expecting is that they are expecting the prices of gold to keep rising, probably to 57. That is 5,700. And you can see it is really increasing so hand on this, right from where we have 27. You can see the next one 28, 28.9, and then 30. So they are predicting that these prices actually may keep moving up, especially to 54. That is what we might be getting. That's the same thing that really happened to the silver, but you can see the prices will keep rising. But let's see, when you really look at this indicator here on the monthly time frame, because of course remember the expiry of futures is really going to be expiring this month at I think in the next few days. And then you see one thing, let's just use some indicators and just get to see what is really happening. And one thing that you see from this is really we are on the extreme levels on the daily time frame, that is around 82, but remember this can go up to 87, so that is not a problem at all. On the 4-hour time frame, still we are on the same level that gold actually retraced from. Remember where we started selling when the prices were all the way up here, and we were sold around the same area here, which is around 49 60 around 49.60, and the prices went all the way to 49.02. I think it was almost 48.99. I remember that day, I think around last week there. Now you can see we already hit the price of 51.10. That must have been a psychological level, because so many people have been expecting at least these prices to hit a $5,000 there. So that you see at least 5,000 we had to get around 50 something, 51.10 there, and then we just move all the way back some changes like that. Now that is what we are looking for. I really want to see apart from where people are saying that prices is really going to be ending to 54. Remember, these prices actually might be ending there. The demand for gold is actually becoming crazy. People are really buying the gold. Banks are really holding the gold so handling, but the prices are really, and that's why you see the prices actually spiking, and you see we have the spikes towards the upper side. But one thing that you realize again is that we are still on the extreme levels, and we have some gaps that have not been filled, especially on this breakout. But one candle that I really don't think normally gets filled up is the candle that normally breaks out from the market, especially this was good because at least there's no single candle that broke out the market. But when you look at this is just one candle that broke out all the way to after this high that was achieved here. The next one that we get that was not really filled is this one. Look at this. This is just a single candle. So if you see a single candle breaking out from the trend of the, or like probably from the previous high, then there is likelihood that candle is really not, even if the gap was created, is not really going to fill that gap. You can see here, this is not a single candle that broke out this market. Is this and this. So that gives us a zone that we can be targeting on, which is, I think this area here is going to be important. This way, as you can see, we have a gap here. But this, no, I don't think this can really be filled again, because you can see it is really a single candle that broke out. Those are things that you really normally observe, and they normally repeat themselves from the market. I don't know whether this topic is on the ICT, but these are things I really notice on myself. Now look at this. This is a market realizing, and I think we might be getting to 50.22. That's most also a very important level that we might be getting here. So this is a level to be visited again around 50.22 here, and that will be at least $100 move. And I think due to this pattern that we're really getting here from the future side, remember this is just different. This is a different market. It's only that we are using this to know where the market probably might be ending, because futures, the spot market that we are trading the spot gold. That is why we're talking about these prices here. But this is a future. Remember, the gold spot follows the futures market. And that's why you see now the prices still keeps implying volume here, keeps pricing. And the people are predicting the prices actually might touch all the way to 57.49. These prices are really going to keep increasing. And we might actually be ending to 6,000 so for the gold. But on this momentum here, you know, this cannot really keep sharp. And that's why I'm saying any day, anytime, probably maybe at the end of this month, we are going to see how this candle is going to close. And at the end of this week, this monthly candle that we're going to have here is actually we're going to see maybe another candle that is going to be opening from, let's say from the next week, at least coming and filling this big gap that we have here. And next week is really going to be very big because new month. And remember how this market is very on extreme levels, and we cannot really go to zero. I want you to check this again. This is what I'm talking about. This is extreme. You can also check this one. So on my side, it is reading around 95.26. So we are actually so up. We are so up, and you can see this was sharp. This is very sharp. So I might be getting at least these prices coming back here to give it the space to breathe, the market to just breathe on this. This is on the monthly time frame, and that is what we might be getting. But at the end of this, we might be getting the price is actually lowering all the way down before probably we proceed to these prices of 52, 54. The market might be visiting these places, But the best places to buy is when you wait to see the prices actually lowering for the month. That might be happening anytime. So this is what you're waiting to see from the prices of the gold. So in case probably I don't want really to rush to buy the gold right now when the price is very expensive. Number one, we are on the extreme levels. Even if the prices are keeping to move higher, remember we will be waiting even to see even higher than that, which might be also 6,000. But before even we hit 6,000 on other, we really have to really move back a little bit before now we hit on the higher spot, which is probably the highest price that we are going to be waiting for. Sometimes when the prices are actually moving and creating new highs, sometimes it is very difficult because the market is really creating highs, and that's crazy. But at least you can see, at least we have small pattern here of how just this market is really doing from this. So after this big move here, at least we got a small pullback. Another one here, we got a small pullback here. Now it is from this place here. Let's see another one where we might be expecting these prices to move, in case this prices is going to so we have a gap here. Remember this place here around 50. This is 50.06, 50.06, 50.06. So around 0.56, going to try, because already this price is really sharp, and I know anytime we have to move to this place, we have to move to that place. And I know the short is really going, because of the momentum of the prices that are keeping to move up. Look at this. Anytime we have a pullback like this one, look at this. This is very sharp. The prices get rejected so fast, like this one. These are things that you really have to check from the market to know how the momentum is. And this is really So I will short my positions up there and be waiting to see these prices at least drop into 50.20, and then we buy long term. We remember this is small risk compared to the upside. So because the prices are really predicted to move up, now what do? Any position that you enter, it's either a sell, then make sure that that sell is actually lower compared to the buy that you're going to be taking from the market. So if you normally risk, let's say 0.1 low size on this, you make sure at least it's a half when you are really selling from this market, because the sales are really not taking so long. That's why I'm talking about this zone. Look at this. The short market is really not taking. Look at this. For example, when this gap was being filled around this area here, the market just moved very quickly, and the prices was actually rejected so easy, because you know the buyers are waiting to see the lower prices, and then after they see the lower prices, what are they doing? They are buying the market very fast. They are really buying very fast. That's the same thing that you see happening on this market. And after that, we see a very sharp bullish candle that is formed into the market. That is what really happening to the prices of the gold, not only gold alone, but also the prices of the silver. So anytime you see the prices dropping and you earn sold from this market, make sure that you exit very fast, because the short is really not really going to last that long. The short does not really last for a market that is so very bullish like this. Number one is because many people, like many traders, are waiting to see the lower prices. Once they see the market dropping just small dollars like this, let's say from 1595, and it moves all the way to 5,000, then they put so much on us and they buy from the market, because they don't want to miss the opportunity when the prices actually gets low. And that's why you see now the market gets rejected faster, and then the sellers also start selling very fast, and that is the same thing that you really want to do as well. So even if you're buying, or even if you are selling from these prices here, make sure that at least when you see these prices drop into this area here, you are very keen on here, and then make sure that you sell very fast. And then remember, now for the market that is trending just like this, the safest way to do is actually to wait for the lower prices and buy as the market keeps moving up. But of course, we are going to see the prices at least coming back a little bit. We cannot really keep that sharpness all with the way throughout. That is the price of the gold that I'm expecting currently. I have short the gold, and I'm going to wait at least to see the prices to 750, 50 or below 50, and then I'm going to exit from those zone. Then Don Johnson is another one that you are trading, but remember also the price for. I wanted to show you what has been happening to the currency meters on the prices for the gold, and why the prices are really been moving, because I think the gold prices, the USD is actually just not it, this is just the time is yesterday. Actually the USD, I think earlier today, I think the USD just lost it like so big, and at least you can see now this is the time that is trying to gain the momentum right now, and you can see at least the price is really rising. One of the pairs I think that is trading is CHF JPY. If you can go and check that one, I think there's a sharp movement that is really happening there, and I think the prices are really moving so fast. So if you're trading in CHF JPY, just know that the price is really dropping so fast. So that is what you can really check from meter there. That is another interesting thing. This is what I'm talking about. You can see the price really dropping so fast. So this is interesting, and they think the pair that has actually been moving, gaining the strength is actually the Japanese yen, and that's why you see this kind of move. So in case probably you have been waiting for these prices to lower down so that you can buy, this is a very good pattern that is really happening here. Probably now this is a good time. You can really consider a lot of things in case you're waiting for this setup here. I think now maybe the good time to start looking for the places to buy from. CHF, JPY, at least the moving. I don't really like Swiss franc, but at least when we have the JPY here, I think things are really good. JPY has control over there. So before even you just either buy just anyhow, just look at that trend, the market. That's how it is really trending, and that's how the market is really moving. I'm really going to get another high here as the market moves. I really don't want to delve into this pair because I can see a perfect move that probably is going to be happening here. We can check on the volume side and see what we might be getting from these prices here. So this is really interesting, and you can really check that out and how the prices are really moving. So much interested in the US 30, because as you have seen, if the dollar is going to be gaining from this side, remember also it's been losing. If this dollar is really going to be gaining, remember also this week we have the interest rate decisions. If we are going to be getting either they remain constant, now the problem is going to be when they cut the interest rate. But at least for the hiking the interest rate, this is going to strengthen the dollar. We are going to see the US 30 moving all the way up, and this is going to be something very good for the gold. So I hope at least this week, because the dollar has actually been losing, especially to the end of the last week. Now this week at least we expect the prices for the dollar to at least gain. So that is the same thing that when you look at the DXY, we're going to see the DXY. When you go to the DXY, we are going to see the same thing. Let's see what the prices are really be doing. Look at that. The dollar index actually been losing a lot, and that's why you see, number one, the prices of gold is really being pushed so hard and very up. I think we are so down on the dollar index here. That is the interest of it's really moving, and I see at least now it is really trying to gain the momentum for this. And I think once we start gaining the momentum for the DXY, we are going to see at least we are actually at the level where we're talking about, which is around 16. So probably this strength or pullback that we are going to be seeing from this market here is actually going to, at least to see these prices actually be pushing the prices for the dollar up ones. And this is going to be so much interesting. Number one, to the US 30 is going to help this US 30, because so many people are going to be interested now with the US economy. Buying the stock market is going to rise, and of course when the stocks market rises, we expect the same translation to go to the stock indices to also move on the upper side. So that is what I'm expecting from this market. I expect at least now the DXY to recover from the downside, of which is actually on the stream very low, and this is really going to correct the move that we've been waiting from the prices of the gold number one. Also the silver has actually hit on the all-time high, like we are on the stream levels, and I think you can see the dollar has actually been losing it, because I think so many people have been going to the prices of gold and abandoning dollar. And I think because the market cannot really stay sharp, we have to correct this, and so many people are really going to buy dollar and keep it, because at the safe haven now is now they start selling the other asset. So that is what is really going to, like, the market is really going to interchange, and over a sudden when the market lowers down, then people are going to take again what is really going to be remaining. Like for example, you see the prices of the dollar is really low, and then dollar DXY is extremely very low right now. It's 97,169. So what is happens next is that when they start gaining momentum towards up, people are really going, because now number one, dollar is extremely low, the silver is extremely high, gold is extremely high, and US30 is actually low. And you can see this is the same thing that's happening. So what I'm going to do is the dollar gaining, and then we get the US30. We are still low. I've been expecting to get at least the US30 to hit at least 50,000, Nasdaq to hit at least 26 before the end of the month. And if you are going to get to that point, I think the market is really going to be moving. And that is the same thing that I'm really expecting even before either at the end of this week or maybe the start of the next week. But the big correction, that is what I'm really expecting to be getting from this market before the end of this. Now you can see now this is the US30. I've been monitoring that to see what we are really going to be getting. Now that's the strength for the dollar that you're going to be getting there. So I hope this start moving up, because already we are at the lowest point. We get at least to 98. So once we get to 98, I know it will have pushed at least the prices lower, and already will be up. The stock market will really be up by this. That is the same thing. That is very interesting, and that is my plan for this week. That is my plan for next week, to see the market now interchanging, the dollar to start gaining as we end up also to this. So I'm expecting this currency here to start gaining. Okay, let me go to the other one. I don't really like this one. Let's check one from blue FX blue. So dollar gains this week, and this is the end of the month, of course. So a lot of things happening. It's going to be really crazy here, and it's going to be interesting. I'll be talking about +1 2.7. That is later. I want that to go to the direct point. Yeah, it's the same. Yes. If you're watching this, kindly ensure that you like this, and also you subscribe to this channel. It's going to help us, from one level to another. So USD JPY has been losing. So this is the current market that you can use. I know, so you just navigate through this pair, this being the base currency, and then this just being, so you not tradable, this being the base currency, and then this being the quote currency. You can really check on that. I just want to check basically on just one pair. Now it's only that we cannot really check on this. Be also checking on the features for the other currencies and see how they have been really moving, and what we really expect, but we'll be going down on this. But generally you can see now that is what I'm expecting to be getting from the USD, at least to start, because you can see it really been losing a lot, and you can see how the strength of the Japanese yen has actually pushed the market all the way to 153. You can see 153.5. the price was actually trading at 159. So this is crazy. We'll be losing it. We need really to recover from this, and this is crazy. This is crazy. If you really compare it to this is today, so let's check. So this is just the 1 day. You can see already down percent of 1.5% just in 1 day against the JPY. And that very big move, if you're trading USD JPY, just check it right now, because the prices are really moving so fast and we are really down because the JPY is just taking it. All right, those are things that you really have to check. So DXY expecting it to move at least on the upper side, although now it is really moving down. Now we expect at least a recovery for this, so that at least we can push then gold all the way down. Now this week, remember also we have some good news that are really coming. If you are trading CAD currencies, and also for us who trend, normally we trend this, but only then when we get the side prices, that is when we get all this result. Remember also the Australian dollar has really been performing so well. So before Wednesday, we'll be talking about what we really have to look to know whether the CPI is really going to be positive or negative towards the Australian dollar. Australian dollar is really doing so good. You can just go and check probably Audi USD. You realize that there is a sharp movement on how it has really been moving, and probably this is going to change everything, but we're really going to move into the details of that. Canadian dollar is really going to be getting the rate also on the same Wednesday, 11,545. So these are things that we're really going to get into details of. The Fed, unless we get a surprise for the interest rate, maybe to, but it's very unlikely for them actually to hike the interest rate at this point, because the inflation is not that really high and then it's remaining the same. So unless probably there's high chances maybe to cut more than to hike the interest rate right now, but because I think the economy is not really that bad. Yeah, so 3.75, the prediction that to remain the same, but in case maybe we get a higher than that, is really going to shake the market for meeting. And also remember for the GDP, so this week higher impact news for this one are really going to be very important for these three pairs, how the USD and CAD. So those are the ones that you're really going to be talking about this week, and probably I'm going to analyze and know what we expect from that. Okay, which other pair did we check last night? Because I said just make sure that you check so well on the USD JPY. If you are trending USD JPY, this is crazy, because look at this sharpness from 158 all the way to this zone here. That movement is very crazy, and I think the market has really to recover from this one, and that's why we need at least the USD. You can see how now the USD with that DXY moving down, how it is causing this chaos into the real market. These are still the extreme levels, I think. So I really like to know where we are. This is still the extreme level, and I think this around 17. This is 17. This is very low. We need the prices. Yeah, you can see that one. Even today alone, the prices actually moved all the way by just 1.5%. 1.5%, that is where the gold was actually just taken, and that is crazy. So USD JPY traders, you can see the Japanese yen. We're actually going to be checking what has really been strengthening the Japanese yen that so much. We are really on the big bullish that is really happening in the Japanese yen, and these are the currencies we're talking about, or this one. So Japanese is really at the top here. Then we have an Audi CHF and New Zealand dollar. So these are the currency pairs. These are the currency just looking on, and you can see the dollar is actually at the farthest end of the bearish. So when you actually go to in between JPY and USD, you're going really to see that sharpness that really been happening to the market. But I think, we cannot really stay all that long. Then you're going to look for at least a reversal that we can just be looking on this market. So it's like right now it's good to safest probably to start looking for buy at the extreme levels for this, because I think there's something has to be done about that one. Now that is what we got from that on the stream levels for this JPY. It's just the same thing that we are really checking here. That the same thing that we're checking here. So if I'm going to look for a buy in this market, the market really moved so sharp all the way to the top here. And for those who have been trending JPY for long, that is the same thing. You always expect this. You can always expect this. Just look, these things normally happen. These things always happen where we can get a sharpness, where the market can move, for example, in this 150, and we get all the way to 146. So those are $4 move. So this is normal. This is really, really normal. So for the JPY pairs, I'm not talking about the gold. This is normal for the JPY pairs. But you can see at least the market normally gets a correction. But this is very sharp. That's why we expect this market to at least do something. It's on at 97. That is for the gold that you can see here. So in case probably and get the prices below 50, I'm going to sell for the gold. That is what I'm focusing on, and this is really amazing for the one just asking me to check on the gold. You're saying around the gold, so I wanted us to check so much on the USD, and that's why we are seeing something about the USD is that we are really extremely low. Something has to be done about the USD, and that's why you see now the prices really has to move up. That we are very low. It's just losing it. We have to do something. Probably even Fed can just decide, maybe let's come up with a surprise this week to hike the prices. Maybe they put the interest rate at 4%. This week, they can really happen, because when you look at the DXY, it's really crazy. When you look at the performance for the dollar against Japanese yen, it's really crazy. When you look at how people are really abandoning the dollar and going for the gold, it's really crazy. And I think the Fed has to do something about this, especially what has been happening this week. And that's why I'm saying, because now we are at the end of the month, there's something that they have to do about that, and the market has really to correct that. And that's why might be seeing a very big correction on the monthly time frame. Probably that's happening from the next week, or that is really going to be happening this week. If not this week, it is next week, but expect a very big correction going to happen on the prices of the gold, which might actually even touch below 4,000. It might actually touch even below below 5,000, which is around 48. Might be moving to that before now we resume. But make sure that when you see the lower prices for the gold moving all the way to those levels, you prepare for long-term buy, because already the projection to move to 54 and 6,000 is very easy, and the market is really projecting to move to those places. So that's what we have been waiting. But right now, look at the CHF, look for the JPY pairs, and look at least to see whether we can spot and buy or a reversal from that market, because the market is really, really good. So I advise you just go and check JPY pairs. The strength is crazy right now. Let me just give you some information right now. Now let's talk about the Japanese yen. Now we have discussed so much about the gold, not on the online gold, but also on the USD. So we expect something to. It's not only that the JPY is really gaining, but you have seen how the dollar is actually performing, and the negative performance of the dollar and the positive performance of the JPY keeps this price really moving. And one thing is because number one, the speculation that the Fed keeps cutting the interest rate. That's crazy. That's negative towards the dollar. And the other thing, number one, that is really moving the JPY pair, especially you can see also it is driving the Canadian dollar. Look at this sharpness that you see here. That's how you can actually go and check right now. I think we might spot good opportunities for the JPY pairs. The markets are actually reacting to the possible intervention from the Japan. Yeah, Japanese actually officials and even the US have actually been sending strong signals that they are watching the yen closely. When the traders actually now start, smelling the intervention risk, they know, they start actually buying the yen and they see the sell position, and that alone can actually push the prices all the way up. That's why you can see now the yen is really gaining all the way up here against other currencies. This is really, really interesting. And the other thing is actually there's a shift for the interest rate expectation. You can be checking that. I'm going to look for that in the calendar, the expectation for interest rates to things. So those two alone, don't worry, I'm going to bring that back. Yeah, so what you're going to see is actually the JPU. Let me JPU. Yeah, so that's interesting. That's interesting. Now, what I'm talking about the rate is that we are seeing a shift of the interest rate expectation. The Bank of Japan is actually under the pressure because the inflation is actually staying high and battling due to the weak yen, and that's making the market actually price in less yen weakness and the potential policy tightening. So that's why there's potential for the changes of what we call the shift for the interest rate decisions being from the negative for those who are be following their somehow negative, and they start hiking these, and once they start actually moving these high because of the inflation that has been threatening Japan, now might be seeing the yen actually even gaining more of this. But just know those are just the speculations and what people are really expecting from this one, right? Now, in short, the intervention fear plus policy shift expectation, that is what making the yen so strong. And that's why now you see that, for example, USD JPY is dropping and the yen is actually gaining right now. Now, what to do? Now, if you really want to know more about JPY, the best thing to do right now is you just keep your eye on the Japanese officials, right? That is the best thing. If you see they commenting about the prices moving up, that's really going to be so much interesting, right? Because once they comment about either to cut the interest rate, this is going to as well move the market again, or maybe you're going to see a reversal from that. Just very easy. And I think this has to be reported. I think you just follow some good news there on the Twitter Japanese officials office pages. You can actually get this information very quickly. But you can see all of this. The worst performing pair is CHF JPY. The Swiss franc is actually being surprised so much by Japanese yen, and I think this is the biggest topic. And also remember, USD is also under threat because only today we moved more than 1.5% down. Yeah, for those who are asking, the pair that you see on the screen, I short the price of the gold at 115.97. That's why you see now the price is really dropping. I'm expecting to see 50.50 below that, and then I can just assist this. But remember, we're saying the short does not really last long. And that's why once these prices keep moving down, what we are going to do is to now look for buys opportunity from this market. All right, yeah, so that's what you have here. I'm going to keep observing this until we see some good result here. Now let's keep observing the gold, and then I'll come back. So I'm going to reduce one position here. I keep one movie. You understand more about the God. I don't have to explain to you about this. So 300, I'm going to cut this short. Like from this level here, because I know the prices can reverse here. So it's better we reduce, not only reduce in position. So 160 profit made. That is just this morning. And that is crazy. That's good. So how much is 150? Because the price is moving from 97 all the way to, this, how many points are those? 150. That is 1000. Is it 1000? 1600 point. Those are 160. 160. Gold does not really have pips. So, but in case in terms of people who could have sent 160 pips. So that's 1,600 points gained this morning. So the rest, even if that is interesting. But I think the prices, the moment we short these, the prices really did not like move so much negative. I think that was close to the sniper entry. So I always write what we make here. Profit. Today's profit. So those are 100 and today's profit. So the reason I'm calling that because it looked like so once the market actually moves slightly below or almost to hit this SL, sometimes there are some profit I really don't really enjoy. When the market moves closer to my stop loss. So you can see I can wait patiently for the market to hit the prices I'm waiting for. But with the market that has so much magnet once they have assigned, that's why when you enter up, then you keep reducing the risk. That is me. That's what I normally do. on this. So on this, if we don't hit the, if we hit the TP, actually the money is actually even going to be bigger. All right, today's profit is positive. How much? 160, 160, 160 pips. So we garnered 160 pips. That have been amazing. So the only position I'm waiting for this market to come to is this area here. So I'm going to mark here so that we can see, but we are not really done with that. So let me check all the things. I'm going to check all things that we really need for these positions. I'm going to see whether we are going to adjust that one. So on here we can mark 75. Let me go to the doggone so that we can mark that on features. 4980. So 4980 is another interesting zone. That's why you can see the market is really reversing from that. 4180, 4874. So those are very important zone. So the market is really reacting from 4180. That's why you can see I have existed at 14180 around this area here. 4180. In case we just move to that, then price is really going to go back to 51.29. And in case these prices keep moving up and all the way up, then of course I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to break even, because once we hit all the way to around 51.20 something, I think we might be, once we hit again to the entry point, I think we might be ending to 51.20 to create probably another high. But around 50.82, this 50.41, this is 49.80. So between 50.80 as well, I think there's something around there. So that's why you are going to keep these prices up here. So between 41.80, this is the price that we're focusing on, 41.80. So I'm going to mark around 41.80, 49.80, 41.80, which is absolutely this zone. So from this area here, let me mark that. Then the next one I'm going is 51.29, which has already not been achieved, which is slightly above here, slightly above here. Now I'm going to put something here. Now you see what this matters. This matters a lot. So I think once we touch this area here, let me show you. We are going to avoid some zones. This is getting interesting. This is getting interesting. I hope to see the lower prices for this. Specifically for the silver, I'm waiting to see the market going down so that I can buy. I've been waiting for that for so long. I've been waiting not for so long. So silver. So allow me to do this one. Now you see this area, all this area here is actually not a very good entry at all. That's why you see there's a sharpness around this area. Apart from the market filling this gap, I don't think this area is a very nice area here to enter from this market. This is not really a good area at all. And so this is why we have the POC around this area here. But I know once we touch this area, these are really not good area for entry, because once the prices actually break these two ones down, and you can see the prices are really up, which means there's a chances for this market to come back all the way to this area here now. So once you see these prices breaking, this is 84.68. Okay, so the next TP, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it here. So the next TP, I'm going to be putting it across this zone here that you see. So this is my TP that is on from 87. So I'm going to place it here, because I know these are chances of where the market will be coming and then decide to move all the way up. So allow me to put this on the other side. I don't know why my PC is hanging out. It is slowing down. My PC is slowing down. I don't know why. My PC is slowing down. Let me work on this. I'm taking so long to draw these lines. Now this is another, so this is the exit that I have. So I'm going to assist down this area here, because I know once this market touches this, it's going to move up. So number one, but in case we break that one, then we are going to move. So at least these prices, actually this is 66. So expect 66 from this market even before probably we move to the upper side. This is 66. I'm going to mark it like this one. Yeah. So that 50.66, this price is going to hit that. We are going to hit 50.66. We are going to hit 50.66 before we move up. Yeah. But don't let me mark these areas again so that you may be able to understand. This is important. This is important. This is important. Actually, it is right here. It's even below that. So this area is around this area here, which is, that's what I'm talking about, 50-50. So in case we touch 50-50, this is the area I'm talking about here. So my TP is located here. So remember I zoned around 57.97 here. So I'm targeting here. We have already closed one positions with that TP that you see up there. So this is short term. Remember, also be focusing to buy long term when the market drops to these levels that we have here. But this market has a potential of actually moving down. Now as we speak, 97. As you see, my profit is really reducing very fast. Give this I give this 5-1. This is 1-2. I put it above like that one. So that is what I'm waiting to see from this market. I really okay. My PC is slowing down. That's why you see me slowing down. Okay, nice. Thank you. Now that is the position I'm waiting to see this market moving to, in case we get that. This is 97, so 7, of course, yeah, so we are up. You can see now what is really moving the market. This is the information. This is what really moving the market. Germany info business climate beats expectation. That is 83.3% versus 80.6% as it was expected. Japan's ones of the close coordination with US on FX intervention. Bank of these are just medium, but I'm looking for on the yang intervention. So I'm going to let me get all the full information for you here. Now, as you can see, let's just give that price. You can see it's really tempting to move to all the way up, and that's crazy as well. But we have something that is very interesting here. You can see the time we started buying this US 30 when it's really low around this area here, you can see now it is really crossing around 120. And what I'm talking about here is that the DXY is really down here, and something has to be done about this one. I know the Japanese yen is really already traders. You know, there's what we call now the pre-market. You know why you just have those speculation, then traders start coming in even before the intervention, and when the intervention comes, then there is no high impact to that exact market on how it's really doing, and that is the same thing that we are even getting here. You see the price is really moving, and like right now, and the intervention is not really yet, and that is really crazy from that market. Now that is what you see happening to the JPY and pushing other currencies so much down. I think we might be getting the prices now going to react from that. So looking for the USD JPY. The price right now, the price actually even moved to 153, 387. When was that? 153, 9. Yeah, that was actually very low. So yeah, we are actually below. We'll have the prices are really very low. So these are really good opportunities for us to consider such pairs. But more of this news are really coming up, and I'm going to give you all of this information right here. So what do I see from let me get from macroeconomics here. So these speculations, you know, also about I think there is not much information that really moving the JPY apart from the volatility that we are getting from the report of the intervention that is really going to be happening here. I think that is why so many traders are really coming in to just buy from that market. Okay. So I'm still waiting, although this price is actually for the gold of this potential of really moving up, but this is the last price I'm really expecting these prices to come, and then we keep buying as the prices comes low. When we see this kind of prices coming low, then it will be very good opportunity for us to buy from this market when the prices actually get low. When we get lower prices, so be good opportunity for us to keep buying from that market. So that's why we give it a shot around those areas there. So we just keep, you see the movement where we are hitting around 1597, around 98 there. So that is where the place that you are waiting to see. This price is actually jumping from that area, and I'm waiting to see at least 50-50. And once we see this 50-50, at least that is going to, remember also we have already traded this, and we have already closed at least today's pips around 160. We closed around 160, so that's approximately 0.1. You can just tell how much we made from that. Yeah, so that was really amazing. So there are a lot of things really happening right now, especially in JPY pairs. That was really and also those two pairs. Make sure that you check on them, because a lot of things are really happening. Don't want to miss those opportunities. You don't want to miss these opportunities. The prices are very sharp movement that we're getting. Got very sharp prices. Gold is really the BTC, the BTC is trending around 88. Let me open another chart here. $50.99, that is where we have the strike, and that's almost the price that we have. So that's, we are still good. We are still good. So let's check the heat map. It's the same thing that we're really getting on 15-minute time frame. On 1 year, this is how the market, on 1 month you can see the gold has actually been performing. This pair is below pair low, so the prices are really been moving so low. That is the sign of the gold, that you are the sign of this is the USD. And also the day, you can see how it is really been moving. But on the side of JPY, you can see the performance in 15-minute time frame all the way to 1 month, all the way to 1 week. Also really good performance 1 week, all the way throughout, good performance. And when you look at the USD performance, it's actually been so worse on the 8 map. That's what we are really getting from this. Is this really finally happening? Because you can look at this and oof, what? That was really very tough, because I think we had already hit almost the entry point, and now the prices are really trying to come down. If you're really going to hit 50-50, then I think that it's going to be very amazing, because already we are really down, and this is going to be a very good selling point. That is really going to be another one. I think we're almost another 150. So there's another 150 pips coming up, and this is really going to be interesting. So let's just go on below, and if we are going to go below and below that one, let's see if this candle is really going to close slightly below this one, probably 50.78. That is going to be something else amazing as the prices closes below that. I want to see if the following is really happening, because I'm waiting for the strength of at least the dollar to move up, but DXY is still at 97. So if it is going to move slightly below 96, then this is going to be another crazy move that we're going to be getting here. But probably if we get another 200 pips to 300 pips, I think we'll be going with that entry. So if you're going to get 200 pips, that we're going to be going with that. USD JPY is really moving, and I think sales are really taking over, but the prices are really at around 153,600. Those are the entries that we really have, and the market might be correcting anytime. So I think the Fed has to do something about this, or not is really happening, because Japanese yen, the intervention has to, that is causing the prices to really move on. Remember that on this area, that is we'll be waiting to see the prices moving to for the gold. I'll be closing down when the prices really come down, and that is my stop loss placed over above that place is there. But when these prices actually come to 50-50, I may be considering to buy moving up with the prices, because actually it is even more safer to buy than selling when these prices are really going to move. That's why we're going to be moving. So I'm be reducing once we hit at least these levels down. We'll be reducing some of the risk that we're going to be getting from those really good levels that we have, right? So as we proceed to move down, we just reduce some of the risk that we really have. Range target and 160. That was really amazing. So I'm going to reduce this as we keep moving downwards. These are our entries that we earned yesterday on the GBP, on the BTC USD, but really we closed down at the entry point here, break even, then break even, because what really been happening here. Probably this momentum is really going to keep on. So if you look at this really carefully, it seems that they're shifting. Seems like it really is shifting. So that's why we really closed that down. Which other pairs did we? US 30, and I think around 5:30 when the London session opens, that's when you're going to see the true movement for this. Let's see on the daily time frame of what we expect before the end of the today. So the gold prices is low, it's around 50.77, 78 will be closing once reducing some of this position as the market keeps moving. Yeah, so I'll be expecting to see 50. 50 is still the target that I'm waiting to see from the US 30. So US 30 anytime, and I'll be expecting to see 50,000 still. That is what I'm expecting. Since now, remember now the pullback, we'll be waiting from the US 30. That is from the strength of the of the dollar, that we're going to be waiting to see at least dollar gaining from this market, this real market here. At least we'll be getting to see getting, at least wait for, so let me select a week here. Yeah, so I expect at least at the end probably of the week, we expect the gold USD at least to jump to around position 2 here to gain momentum, and at least that is when you're going to push at least the US 30 prices all the way up, and the gold prices at least to move down. But remember also the gold prices will keep actually rising all the way up, considering around 50.99, 51.98. we might actually keep moving to those signs since the volatility is actually to one such that is. But for now, as you can see from the this, in case maybe we get to 151.98, you can see how the volatility is changing. But this is for just this week, which means that we actually might be getting the prices actually moving to this side of 47.77. So let me just expand this. You can see that is really changing, and that means projection towards the lower prices of the strike of 47.77, and it is really becoming cheap once the prices actually start moving towards these areas here. And buying from 50, this is really expensive around that area here, and also around this 47.77 here, which makes this price actually to have a target at least of moving towards 49.39. That's why I'm expecting probably maybe at the end of the week to see, or maybe at the end of this week to see at least these prices moving towards the downside. So that's a very good possibility. That's a really good possibility at the end of this. At the end of this, might be getting these prices actually now targeting lower prices. And remember on the monthly time frame what we said, now this is really just happening from this point here, at least 31%, 30, 26, 31, 30, 36. So at least that 49, 39, can wait for these prices almost to touch those points. So lower prices is, we can expect these gold prices actually to touch lower prices at the end of this week. We might be getting 49 something, around 49 something. That will be actually a good move towards the $100. So that's why you see I strongly really holding this position, although the prices keep moving up and down. I'm still holding this point here. I'm still holding this position, and my target is really around that 41, 51, 34, 51, 34. Around that zone here, that is what I'm expecting. In case maybe this prices moves up, then I really close at that prices over there. So that is what I'm waiting to see happening from this market. But remember one thing, if you these prices are really going to go low, like 49 something, let's say 49, 40, 49, 30, that is actually being good opportunity for you to buy the gold, because we might actually be ending to 55. Remember already we already touched to 51. So if we get all the way to 50, 40 something, we get to 49, 30, it will actually be a good opportunity to buy long once, because the market actually might start moving towards the upper side. So that is my target towards the end of the week. And being a swing trader, of course, you have to be patient. Patience is everything here. Patience is everything. Why do people really think that the JPY that will actually crash the prices of a dollar? Actually, I don't know. This is really interesting because let's see. Let's see what this Japan 225 is doing. Japanese. I want to check on the community storage. $650 is actually that big. You can see this is very big with topping of 153.4. This is actually bad news to the dollar. I think dollar. Hey, how is Trump feeling right now? How is Trump feeling right now? So this is serious. This is serious. The intervention that we're talking about, this is it. I want you to look at this. This is what I was looking to show you. This is the most important. So I don't know whether you can see that or like can expand. Let me. This is very important. This is what you have to know. I think this is just a trend war. So FX intervention means Japan sells dollars and buys yen directly, using its reserve to force a move, usually targeting spin rather than a specific price level. The goal is to crush momentum and scare off speculators, not to engineer a long-term trend reversal by itself. With a Fed meeting and lenders uncertainty ahead, dollar long choose survival over hero trends, amplifying the yen surge. So this is what we are looking for. This is what you see happening right there into the market. And that's why you see the yen is actually gaining this trend, not only weekly on week, not only on day, still on day is topping up. 4-hour time frame still topping up. Where is it? But it's really losing out in the 4 hours, but it's still moving. Let's see 1 hour. Yeah, at least now for the whole day, just look at this 15-minute time frame is still in the up, and the prices are really moving. Still we are upside. Yeah, so if I don't want to go over the noise, because if you move slightly above that, then you're going to see different things after that one. So again, this is what you're seeing from this on the daily time frame. Still it is on the top, and you can see that strength is crazy. The movement here is phenomenal, and current movers, these are the pairs that are moving the market right now, but that's not of interest. This is what we are really looking at. The price of gold is again at 50.88, but it's still not coming back to the place that you are waiting for. We are expecting to see at least now the prices we are expecting now 20. We are really coming to 50, 28, 27, 28, and like that. Is this is weekly. Want to check on the weekly here, 0.5. 31, so 51.95 is also highly likely. So we have that to change again. The market around this area here, so to move that one's very easy. 50.96, where we have the ATM here, that one 29, and that is really reducing so fast. So once we get our positions right, then we reduce the risk, of course, because you can see the implied volume is just reducing. That means people speculations just really changing. I really don't like a week because we normally get volatility changing over the time. So once we get the lower prices, what I was saying, because we might be getting that correction, then we are going to buy once the prices actually start moving down. That is the aim of this. So that's why now we be closing this anytime. We have already gathered around 160 pips. So once we get the lower prices, then we start moving in for a buy position, probably from 50-50. That is why we can start for this, as now the prices start moving up. USD JPY, we are really on the stream, and I think there's something the market can really continue moving. On the other side, we have to really do some small correction to this before now the market continues. Remember, all those are speculation. There's nothing that has been done, and now that you see the prices are really up, does not really mean that is what is really happening. It's just speculations that is really moving this market. 153.7, the price has already touched around 153.4. Yeah, so becoming more of this to analyze more, see what's really going to happen on this market as we are trending gold right here with this intervention here. Let me check. We'll give it time. So if you look at these candles here, it looks like the market is really indeed determined to just move up, is determined to move up like this. Probably now the next time we are going to get 5,100. This price is really going to be moving up like this. So next we might be getting 5,100. Might be getting 5,100. If you look at this candle so well, how they're leaning and closing. Remember, this also opened around 1. So in the next 40 minutes, we might be getting that closing up, unless we get this market actually moving down towards this, right? We get this moving slightly below this, because already we have failed to secure a price that is below 75 and below, because that is what I was waiting for, to see at least this market moving down there. So anytime we are going to close this and put a break even, we put a break even to the entry of 97, and because now this prices might keep to move all this side here, we already have this failed position here. So that is what we are going to have. This is what we're going to have. That is what I'm going to have on my side, and break even. So once we get to the break even point, then we close that one, because you see how these candles are really forming. It seems that we really might be getting a breakout once 520, 5120 or 5130s. That is what we might be getting from this, but still we have a chances for 50-50. That is why I'm going to be buying from this market in case we get to the lower prices. That is what you're going to wait to see. This market coming to these zones. That's amazing. I have a lot of things I'm really checking here. The market is so nice. Opportunities are good, and a lot of things happening currently. A lot of things happening right now. I'll give you the information. So let's repeat again on what is really happening. What? Okay, so what is happening to the prices of the JPY? They are really moving, and you can see as the yen continues to strengthen, you can see it's the same thing that is happening to the prices of the dollar. Is actually the dollar is just moving down as the yen is strengthening, and that's why when you do a combination of these two, you are seeing something really happening into this market, and which is the prices are really crazy, especially the USD JPY that we really have here. Now, these are two things that are really happening, which are very important to mark, but I think this is a major one that is really happening to this, whatever you see from this area here. So let me strength here. This is a major one. So number one, the reason you see this Japanese yen just moving just like this is because the market are actually reacting to the report that the Japan and the US and the United States, actually those two guys are really coordinating to do what? To intervene into the currency market to support the yen, that is the JPY, right? And officials from the both countries confirmed they are watching Forex market closely, and that is crazy, right? Now, you know, and signals like, you know, we are going to check on the rate checks by market, we are going to look at the market closely. These are very important things to actually look at, and that's why we started by telling you that let's see both officials, US and from the Japan side, those officials were really going to follow up and say any statement that they bring up is really going to matter a lot in this scenario. There is speculations or there's something really going to be happening. Sometimes so many people may abandon the dollar because, you know, there are uncertainties that we have. Like, you know, for example, when it comes to the rate, sometimes dollar signed in the US sometimes it's not really that predictable. And when you compare between the JPY, and the JPY and the USD, many people prefer the Japan as the most safe haven compared to the USD. Of course, that is the most important thing. And now when you talk about now the intervention to increase at least the value for the JPY, so many people now what they do, the market, number one is of course to sell the available dollar, and then we buy more of the Japanese yen. And once you start buying the Japanese yen, you have to do what? You have to sell the USD. So once you start now selling a USD, that's the price start moving down, and then Japanese yen starting moving up quickly, and then your USD start moving down so quickly. So that's why you see when those two pairs, and I think the best and the worst performing pair, the good performing pair, that how the dollar is actually being suppressed right now is because it's suppressed even more by the USD. That is what we are talking about here. Now let's see. So that's why you see now when I want to open another tab here. So as we said, we're really going to close this anytime because I think these prices might be kicking on the way. We have failed to form another low here for the prices of dollar, of the gold, because, you know, strength here, and that's why I have made a choice to close at the break even at 5,100 in case we touch that 5,100, because I hope in case these prices just keep moving up and we form another high of 5,100, we might keep moving up all the way to 51, all the way up probably to 2025 and all the way up. So that is the prices for the gold. Now you really get that one, just matters of time, and keep watching that because that is the market reaction. So people are really nervous about the safe haven demand in boosting of the yen. This is very important. So simply you can see your yen is just rising because traders think the government may act to support it. That is number one, because speculate buying surged and investors see it as safe rate to actually buy right now. The dollar is actually weakening, because in the situation money flows out of the dollar and into the yen or other currencies. The US policy actually environment looks unpredictable. That is another scenario here that I want you to understand. And the next one, why just this matter? Because exchange rate moves as investors' expectation change, not just because of the current economic data that we have. Like in the US, you see the CPI is already reeling down, and I don't know why they have that much confidence, because you strengthen the US JPY, you think about coordinating with the Japanese to boost their currency, then of course things will go against you, because people normally prefer JPY than USD dollar. And you'll be pressed down until you change your mind, my friend. I hope the friend are listening to this. Okay. Normally you can just say when traders actually expect big moves of policy action, they act fast, and that drives the market prices. So there's nothing that has actually been done at this moment. It's only that people are really expecting, and only they expect, smart people start trading even before the action are just taken. So that's why you see the prices are really moving in a crazy ways. And with that, you can see the stock are really down, and like the US 30 indices, just a sign that we are really, this cannot mean, like, for example, some stock are really not performing well. We can get some good stocks really performing well, maybe Tesla performing so well, but index is just is a combination of different. Some may be doing good, others may not be doing good. So this is just a general term, but when the US dollar was actually beginning, at least we might be seeing the overall, like US 30, the price is actually moving up, which is actually going to be so much of the interest. All right, so the next candle that is about to close is about 23 to 20 minutes to close down, and then we're going to see the next. But I'm expecting, if this candle is going to close above that area here, even without hitting the position that I'm waiting for, then I'm going to close it, because I was expecting it to close slightly below this, around 78, 74, 75, because I was expecting now, after closing that down, it is signs that we are moving to 50-50. But it's going to close that over that area, or maybe the current of 90s plus, then it's a sign that maybe we might be getting another high from this market, and it's really going to be looking crazy from this market. All right, so we are continuing to hold that position until we hit the break even point 5,100, although our entry was around 50.97, but still we're going to close at 5,100. So that is a crossing point that we're going to have. But already, remember, we have already gathered already 160 pips. This is an amazing story that we have here. So we have already secured 160 pips from this market. So when we even go to the break even, still we are good to go. Hey, we am back. The price is really reacting so good here. I was expecting to see another big move. The price breaking throughout this area here, but it seems the same. Now, I'm more interested now on the JPY because of these reasons. With this speculation that are really going on, although I know there are some people, Japanese finance minister speaking about the intervention that is really quick going to come up, we might be getting these prices actually kicking. And let's say even we don't get, this cannot actually last this long. Of course, we know short market is not really going to last long on this one. So if this statement is really not going to be confirmed officially, I think the prices we might actually be getting an upward reversal that is going to be crazy here, and probably 5,000 and so many pips that we're going to Ghana here when this market gets to the toes. So as you can see now, the prices are really found on the USD around 84 here. And I think now this is probably my time to sell this and close to minimize the risk that we really have in this market here. So this is a good time. This is a good time. So this is a good time. That's a good time as well to short it. We sell it all the way now so that we can secure something over there. Already 160 pips, so that will be nice as well. But the price, you can see it is really filmed to this candle just opened around let me see, I need to refresh my thing here. These are 14, this 1 hour time frame, so around 3. So 3 is very far. I think the next 1 hour, that will be very far. That will be very far from here. That won't be very far. Yeah, so the losses here is very small, although so we still haunt the break even. I don't think also haunting this here. Yeah, but due to the alignment of this candles here, although the momentum is really reducing, is really shocking. And I've seen something on the blue bank saying that the market look like it got confused. It's like the market is really confused. I don't know how true is that. I don't know how true is that one. So I'm looking 49.94, 40. We have right here 51.06. So we might be pulling the price all the way up here. So it's nice to close. To be very nice to close. So be very nice to close. So those are some of the positions that we opened here and we have closed. So 2 of them. Just look at how now the price is going to be moving. Those a few dollars we made. 87. So we might be getting actually these prices now moving up the top. It's another high that we have where we touch the high of at least 11. So we might be getting to this point here. Then gold, we have to touch back this again. So that's actually that's about to happen. So my concentration now is going to be on the USD JPY. I know the market is having some issues of going down, but on that one I'll just take a small position for the upward move correction that might be happening after this. So yes, I know the intervention, if that is not really confirmed, of course the market, I know it has to do its thing. So I'm taking a long position here of 0.5 That's one. And why that